Hey, I'm Joe with RevZilla, and today we're taking a look at the Pro Taper SELA device, available at RevZilla.com. So ProTaper got started in California in 1991, and they were the company to first develop an oversized handlebar for dirt bikes without a crossbar, which is pretty much the industry standard at this point. So ProTaper's always brought innovative products to the dirt world. So what we have here is a hole shot or launch device. If you're not familiar with what that does, is it essentially allows you to compress the suspension and lock it down to help the bike launch off the starting gate without wheeling too much. You know, these dirt bikes now are so powerful and light. The only way you can get a good start is to try to keep the front end down as you accelerate out of the gate. So this device is very popular with motocross racers at this point, but also I'm a hare scramble racer, and I know that getting the hole shot at a hare scramble or maybe a GNCC is really, really important. There's a very short distance between the starting gate and the single track, so being able to get into the woods and get into the single track before the other racers really makes it a lot easier to race throughout the day. You don't have to pass so many people once you get in the woods. So this device comes in around $140, but don't forget RevZilla does offer that price match policy if you do find it for less elsewhere. Before we dive into the details, the reason I have it in the package here, we don't typically do that, but there's a ton of little small parts here, and we found that the packaging really showed all those parts as best as possible. Otherwise, you would just be looking at a big pile of little tiny screws and plates and things like that. So we have the device here in the packaging. ProTaper did a good job with the packaging here. So when we say SELA device, S-E-L-A, what that stands for is Self-Engaged Launch Assist. Now, typically with launch devices, you kind of needed a friend or someone around to help you set the device as you compress the fork down. What's unique about this device is that you can turn the knob on your own and then bounce the fork and the thing locks down on its own, which is a huge help, especially when you're practicing. If you're going to go out and run some motos on practice day, it's really nice to be able to continue to set this device yourself and practice your starts that way. Now, with most launch devices, obviously, as soon as you hit the first bump or you get on the brakes really hard, it will unlatch itself and you'll have your full length of suspension there. I've been testing this on our 450R and it definitely works fantastic. Very easy to set and it unlatches every time just as expected. So a couple details about the construction. It's a forged alloy construction, all metal parts here, and it is hard anodized. So the color and everything will stay put. These bikes get dirty and washed a bunch of times. It's very easy for things to start to look ratty over time. No doubt that this is going to look good over time. Also, all the graphics on it are laser etched. Now, the reason that that's important is that there's some indicator lines on the device to help you set it up. And knowing that those aren't going to get washed off or rubbed off over time is really nice. So the big advantage with this is that it's a universal fit option. So a lot of the other launch devices that are out there, you need a bike-specific option. Now, what ProTaper has done with the SELA device is included enough hardware, and it's formatted in a way to, you're going to use a specific set of the hardware based on your particular make and model. So you can get that information. There's a link right on our product page to ProTaper's website that'll show you all that there. When we start talking about installation, another big advantage is that the retaining ring here, the receiver ring that captures the launch device on your fork guard is dual hinged. So typically you're going to have to pull the front wheel off and one of the fork legs out on a lot of hole shot devices. You don't have to do that with this. You can keep your bike all together and just wrap the receiver ring around the fork and tighten it up. So installation is pretty good in that front. Now, also another thing to consider is that you'll need to print out the templates to drill the fork guard on your motorcycle. And ProTaper offers 3 different settings, basically a high, medium, and low, depending on how much traction you have at the start. So the more traction you have, the lower you could set the nose of that bike and really keep it from wheeling when you come out of the line. One thing about that is that, if you are racing at a professional level, at a top level, you're probably going to just want to run 3 different fork guards. Pick yourself up a few different sets of fork guards that are drilled at each level, so it's really easy to transfer the device from one fork guard to the next, depending on your race conditions. So there's only 2 screws on the back of this device, so it's really easy to swap from one to the next. Usually fork guards are only 2 or 3 bolts anyway, so if I were racing at that level, I would have a few different fork guards drilled for those 3 different settings. But overall, you're looking at about maybe 20 to 30 minutes as far as installation goes. Traditional hand tools, nothing special there. Just know that you're not going to use all of the hardware that's in the kit. So I do think this is a really unique device. I like how it works. I like how it looks. And ProTaper, again, is always bringing innovative products to the motocross world. If you'd like to see what other riders have to say about this device, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. And if you have any questions about this or anything else you see on our website, give our Gear Geeks a shout at 877-792-9455 or shoot an email to cs@revzilla.com. Thanks for watching our video today about the ProTaper SELA device. I'm Joe, and I'll see you next time.